What's going on, everybody? Look how sunny it is out here. Look at that. Gorgeous. It's Tuesday morning. It's around 11, just after 11 on a Tuesday morning. I'm here at Long McQuaid. I have a rehearsal tonight at the house, so I had to pick up a wedge monitor and a couple of cables and stuff. We're getting ready for a show on the weekend, and a couple of the guys are coming over for a rehearsal. So, yeah, man, I wanted to get a video out this week on the kit, like a full lesson. But it's a really busy week for me. So let me get out of the center. It's a really busy week, man. So I don't know if I can get a full lesson out like on the kit, but I've been getting a few emails recently from beginner drummers asking me how to practice. A lot of beginner drummers out there are sort of unsure where to start, how to practice to get the most out of their practice time in the beginning stages. So I can at least try to do that for you. So I'm going to finish running my errands, and then I'm going to get home, set up the basement for the rehearsal, and then hopefully quickly give you some advice on how to practice if you're a beginner drummer. One of the things I love about this room is that it doubles as a great little rehearsal spot. So I got the guys coming over in a couple hours. We're rehearsing for a show on the weekend. And hey, you know what? I didn't even show you guys this yet. This is my new mixer. This is a Yamaha MG10 XU. This is what I use for my backing track setup now. I'm not using it tonight, like on this gig. I don't have to use tracks. But, you know, this mixer obviously serves a bunch of different purposes. So we're just using it for tonight for the rehearsal. But this thing is very cool, man. I actually forgot for like 2 minutes that I was actually with Yamaha. So I was like, why don't I just get one off of them? So, yeah. And then I ordered this sweet case and then pimped it out with the Yamaha logo, nice and stealth. But for now, I just want to address the topic of practicing for beginner drummers. Gotten a few emails from beginners just asking, how do I practice to maximize my time? I want to get really good, but I don't want to waste any of my free time that I have. So that's cool, man, that you want to use your time wisely, which you should. So I'm just going to give you some quick tips on how you can maximize your practice as a beginner. All right, I want to talk to all my beginner drummers out there, fresh into the game, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months into it, and you just want to know what to practice. I'm going to tell you how I did it, because this is what I recommend to everybody that asks me this question. For the first 3 to 5 years, easily, I would say, all I did was practice the music. Practicing to your favorite songs remains to be one of the best and most effective ways of practicing. Because above everything else, it's the most fun. And it should be fun right off the jump. So I don't necessarily think you need to dive right into books and, you know, doing a bunch of exercises and stuff like that. You want to get a feel for what it feels like to play with a band. And the best way to do it is to play along with music. And the best way to play with music is to play along with your favorite music. So that's what I did, man. Like, I was heavy into jazz. Well, first it started out with just like pop and rock stuff. I was playing a ton of Police, Level 42, Big Country, like all my favorite bands back from the 80s there. And then it progressed into jazz like 3 years later, 3 years into it. And so I was busy at home, man. I was lifting all kinds of Chick Corea and John Scofield and Yellow Jackets and like all of my favorite jazz fusion bands. It really just kept me interested in this because that style of music just exposed me to a whole bunch of stuff that I just wanted to learn how to do. So that's tip number one, man. Play to your favorite tunes as often as you can. It's super fun. You're gonna suck. You're supposed to suck. You're beginning. Don't rush the process, man. Don't expect to sound amazing right from the start. You're supposed to have fun at this. So just crank your favorite tunes, man. Just set up a nice little station for yourself in your basement and, pick appropriate times if you can. And yeah, just play. Now, outside of that, you can't really ignore the basics. So I'm not saying just play a bunch of tunes and that's it. In between those times where you're just sitting down there having fun, you got to work in some practice pad time. So if you don't already have a practice pad, if you didn't actually buy one when you bought your kit, get one now. It's the most important tool you're going to have in your house while you're learning how to play. So when you're not on the drums, do some research. Watch this channel because I got all the answers for you, man. Trust me on this. But yeah, do some research and find out the proper form and technique for using your wrists, using your fingers, using your hands in general, all right? And spend as much time as you can developing a good single stroke, a good double stroke, and a good single paradiddle. Start with those three. Those are the three most critical rudiments that you're ever going to learn for as long as you play. Now, I want to stress this as much as I possibly can for all of my beginners that are listening out there. Keep this in mind, man. The reason why I dedicated 2018 to the hands is because building up your hands is the most important thing you're ever going to do for as long as you play the drums. So the more time you spend on the practice pad when you're not actually on the drums, the better you're going to end up sounding the next time you jump on the drums. I can promise you this. As your hands start to get better and more developed, each time you go back and jump on the kit and start playing your favorite tunes, you're going to sound a little bit better every single time you get back on. I can tell you guys for a fact, man, I spend easily 90% more time on a practice pad these days than I do actually playing the drums. When I play along to music these days, it's usually for preparation. I'm learning songs for an upcoming show or something like that. So I don't really sit down like I used to and play to a bunch of tracks and stuff. I spend a good majority of my time practicing on a practice pad, sitting in front of the TV, just running exercises, just random stuff. But mostly it's singles and doubles, a couple of flams and paradiddles. So that's my suggestion for now, man. Play along to as much music as you can, and then in your spare time, grab yourself a practice pad and just work it. Work it until you wear it out. Now, should you have a practice routine? That's up to you, man. I mean, if you're disciplined enough to stick to it, that's cool. I didn't have one. I went down and I played, and when I got tired, I stopped. That was it. But it was always fun. I knew I wouldn't be able to stick to any kind of schedule ahead of time because it would kind of feel like work at that point. You know what I mean? So like I said, I just went down and I started playing until I felt like stopping. So sometimes that was 4 hours. Sometimes it was 15 minutes. This thing needs to stay fun for you. Above everything else, man, it's got to stay fun. So if you're not having fun at it, you're not really going to put much effort into it and you won't really progress. I've been at this now over 30 years and I can tell you straight up, I'm having just as much fun now learning new things and trying out new things. This never ever once got boring for me. So yeah, I mean, like I said, you can write out a practice routine if you want, if you know you can stick to it. I would include some exercises in there, some rudiment time if you're going to do that. But like I said, it's got to stay fun, man. If you don't feel like doing that stuff at the time, don't do it. I mean, that might be considered bad advice by other instructors, but I'm just telling you what I did, man. And it totally worked for me. As long as you stay motivated, you're going to be pushing yourself to learn new stuff. And you'll eventually get to everything. So if you want to learn, like if you see one of your favorite drummers doing some crazy stuff on the snare, then guess what? You're going to start to research that. You're going to look for, instructional DVDs if they have one. You're going to jump on Drumeo, look at a bunch of stuff. You're going to hit this channel up and look at a bunch of my videos. And you're just going to figure stuff out. And then once you learn it, you'll be that much more enthusiastic when you can actually go back and play it. But yeah, man, top 3 things. Play the music, get yourself a practice pad, work on it as often as you can, and don't put a time limit or a cap on your practice time. Thanks for watching this video. Drop a comment below if you have one. Let us know what you did when you first started practicing. Let's all pull together and help these youngins out. Go ahead and hit that notification bell too, just so you know, whenever I pop up with a new video, you get that notification. Share this video if you dig it. Like, subscribe. See you next video.